get up and fall. Yeah, don't wanna sing a song. Get up and party, baby, come on back. Get up and fall. Yeah, don't wanna sing a song. Get up and party, baby, come on back. Get up and fall. Yeah, don't wanna sing a song. Get up and party, baby, come on back. Get up and fall. Yeah, don't wanna sing a song. Get up and party, baby, come on back. Get up and fall.
What's up, boys? Gov checking in once again down the home stretch of the 2018 Sporting Woods season on this hot as balls day. Yeah, we're entering maybe my favorite time of the regular season and my most proud time of the regular season. Just the way the schedule's set up. We're entering the final 3 weeks of the schedule where we have our second round of divisional games. So the league members, the number of members, plus the weeks that we play actually lends itself to a perfect schedule. For those that don't know, we start the season with divisional games, first 3 weeks. Then every single team plays each other once. We mix in a grudge week, and then we end the season with a second round of divisional games. So it works out perfect. And it actually creates drama. Like, it creates divisional matchups to end the season, which I think is really cool. With that said, this is the least dramatic ending to a season that I can remember. All but one of the divisions are almost wrapped up. One of them is wrapped up. Two of them are pretty well wrapped up, but then we got one really cool divisional battle for the lead. And then also conversely, we almost have all 4 non-playoff teams pretty much out. I hope that's not the case. Miracle is hanging on, and actually he's only 1 game back with 3 to play, so I hope Miracle can sneak in there. But yeah, we got 4 pretty definitive teams that got some work to do in order to get into the playoffs. Yeah, so that's the root and the purpose of this podcast is to break down divisions. Going to go by division, quick synopsis of each team, and going to keep this short and sweet, just the way the Gov does. So since I referenced Miracle, I'm going to start in that division. We're going to go with the Minions division. And this is actually the best division of battle right now. We got 2 heavy-hitting teams right now. The Chuckers and V-Wall. Are battling it out both at 11-5. Respectively 3rd and 4th in points for in the league. So these are 2 solid teams separated by not very much. So and they're just grinding it out. Both have great seasons. They've been at the top of the league all season long. So let's see when they play each other. So I know that I don't think they're playing each other this week. No. V-Wall's playing Miracle, a game Miracle desperately needs. And Chuckers is playing High and Tight, a game that High and Tight actually desperately needs. So there is going to be a lot of drama down the stretch of this season. So when do the boys play? Cool. Chuckers versus VUL. Last game of the season. So you're welcome, league. That's how the Gov does. So that's that. You guys are battling it out. That's cool. Playing each other final week of the season. Hopefully it comes down to that. And actually, while I got you guys, let's just find out who won the first game. Who's got the tiebreaker? Let's see it. Chuckers. Look at this. Chuckers won the first game 258 to 242. So a heavy hitting battle for two heavy hitting teams. Cheers to you guys. Hell of a season. That's cool. You guys are bringing us the most drama for a divisional matchup heading into the end of the regular season. So cheers to you guys. Working down the list a bit there. Jay at 8-8. You basically got a playoff division wrapped up. Miracle is on the outside looking in as the 13th team. So one out from the playoffs, and he's 2 games back from you in your division. So aside from him bed shitting, you're basically in. You need a lot of stuff to go wrong for you to miss. So moving on to the Trout, though, last in your division. Miracle, my notes, I wrote you down as the most unlucky team in the league this year. And like I said early on, I think you sold out too early. I think you were getting unlucky. You are 3rd most in points against. And as it currently stands, you have the 6th most points scored. And you're sitting on the outside of the playoffs. And you could pull a Brisbane-like fucking tear and win the whole league. I think you sold some parts off early. I think you gave away Sale. I think you should have kept on to him because I still like your team. I like your roster, and I think you can still do some damage, and you've gotten really fucking unlucky this year. So you're actually only 1 game back from a playoff spot. You're 1 game behind Team Tommy John, and you're 1 game behind Team High and Tight. Teams that you are head and shoulders better than and have zero business being behind. So you got 3 weeks to make up 1 game, and something tells me you're going to pull it off. So that's that division. So moving on to the Backyardigans division. That's me, Gov, leading the Backyardigans division. At one point, buried in dead. The Gov. Buried myself. I was done. Maybe the most unlucky team in history of Sporting Wood of injuries. And that's not blasphemy. Like, it's been almost unprecedented, the injuries that I've had this year. I've got nothing out of my keepers. My best keeper's been Tanaka, and he's been on the DL twice and is marginal at best. So here's hoping I get something out of Kershaw. I traded Cueto. Sorry, Tops. Thank God I traded Cueto when I did. Tommy John, he gone. Anyways, Gov has won 8 of 9 games to take a stranglehold on the division. Tops is 2 games back, 3 to play. There's no tiebreaker between us because you beat me the first game and I called you out in the grudge match, so we're 1-1. So if it comes to it, if I lose 2 and you win 2, there could be some drama. But again, lots has to go wrong and lots has to go right for you in order to get in. And we play in the last week of the season. So you have to win out, I have to lose, and then we would play for the division in the final week of the season. So here's hoping that doesn't happen. Cheers to that. With that said, though, Tops, you basically got same as Jay. You're 8-8. You got a playoff spot more or less locked. You're basically in. Still like your team, even though you lost Cueto. I was actually looking at your pitching staff, and not a lot of names, but a lot of producers. You got some solid producers on your pitching staff. And then on to Team Tommy John. Reggie has sold off every asset on this team, and somehow he's just hung in there. Somehow. I like to think Dally still has a hand in this, but I have a feeling he basically doesn't. So somehow you've hung in there after trading away basically everything in the farm. You're 7-9, but only 1 up on Miracle and 2 up on the SOBs. 2 up on the Champ, who still has a sniff, and 2 up on the SOBs, who's in your division, who I'm moving on to next. So the SOBs gov shit on them early on, called them a travesty. From then they went on a tear, got up to 500, and we're looking pretty good, putting up some points. And since then, 6 in a row losses. They're done. They're 5-11. So yeah, you got a lot of work to do. Like, you need to beat me. Going in the division, you need to beat me. You need to beat Tups. So 2 really solid teams. And just to get on par with Tommy John, assuming they lose. And yeah, you got a lot of work to do, boys. So it's been a tough stretch. 6 losses in a row basically put you out of contention. But you're still mathematically alive. Next, let's go to the most wrapped up division, and that's the Topes. Topes are wrapped. They've been a banner franchise all year long. They've been at the top since week 1. They're ranked number 1 in the league. In the points for category, they're down. This is fantasy sports at its greatest. You've been at the top of this league all season long. And you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th in points for. Like, your team on paper is way worse than Miracles. And Miracles is 6 and... the hell is he? 6 and 10? That's ridiculous. Insane. You're 9th in points for. Yet you have the best record in the league. But whatever, you're there. You got a little bit of trouble right now. Carlos came back for 1 start, injured himself again. He's back down. So you better fucking hope that he can get it together. You just got Robbie Ray back, but he doesn't look very good. So there's question marks on your pitching staff. Congrats on winning the division. You're not going anywhere this year. Your team's not that good. But you're playing for free this year. Cheers to you. In that same vein, Bopper, most points against. 2nd in the division, most points against by a good amount. No, actually, check that. 2nd most points against. SOBs are now the most points against, which that's makes sense. They lose 6 in a row. SOBs most points against. Anyways, Bop, 2nd most points against. I think you're 2nd in points for as well, which is the reason you're 9 and 7. Your team's a lot better than that. You picked up Sale, which fucking sucks. Don't like that. But when I look at your roster, I don't like. Before you picked up Sale, I didn't like your staff very much. Now that you got Sale, it's great. Scherzer and Sale's the best 1-2 in the league. But I still don't love your lineup the way it compared to previous Bopper franchises. But you're arguably the best team in the league at 9 and 7, and have as good a shot as anybody in this year of parity to win it all. Next, on to the bullies. That's what happens when you make a draft. That's what happens when you make a draft, Slots, is you're basically in. You're 8 and 8, only 1 behind Bob. But you're basically in. You'd have to lose out the rest of the season.